What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stokastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with another edition of Liddy's Leans, Likes, and Locks MLB. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video, goes a long way for you. That way you become apprised whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Your boy's on fire right now. It is nice to come off of last week. Momentum, quiet comment section. That's my favorite thing, other than the celebration in the comment section. Just the trolling. It seems like it's going away. It feels like it's getting quieter in those streets. Cincinnati just absolutely sweeping Houston, being on that side of it for a unit every single time over the course of this weekend. We'll talk about this Houston spot for sure on this program. And then don't forget, new program, check it out on Twitter. It's Lindy's Locks Update. You heard me. I've been hearing you guys say for about a year now that, hey, Eric, I want to know what changes throughout the day. Well, how about this? Go to Twitter at Eric Lindquist. Go follow me there. Just spell my name correctly down there. I am going to be putting out a video. It's usually going to be like 6, 8, 10 minutes every single day where I update you on all of the locks from this program. What's changed? Do the numbers still make sense to be betting? Has there been line movement in our direction? What would you change about it? So this is just because that Arizona lineup drove me absolutely batshit bonkers the other day when it showed up. Didn't have Carroll, didn't have Marte, and you had to flip-flop on things. So no more of that is going to be coming up in the near future because I will have a video to update you and apprise you of anything that's changed from my standpoint. And then you can always get the official card down below by checking out BetMGM. You get 2 free months of OS Premium Insider. That's myself, Ben Raza, Eitan Shander, all the guys you know and love here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with our betting cards. I'm going to be posting mine every single Sunday through Friday. Yes, Saturday, it's a day of rest, and then, well, we can still smash on the Sundays. I mean, this is just a fantastic day, but BetMGM, check out all the great offerings we have there. Check out Odd Chopper as well. Going to be covering a market-based approach nonstop for you over on that Lindy's Locks update, so check that out over on the Twitters. All right, we got 10 games to get to. Just wanted to throw that out there for the people. Also, for you Pick'em Streets people, got a new video coming Monday through Friday. Yeah, more content coming your way. If you're in a non-legal state and you're loving this program, you want to be betting player props, you want to be betting things of that nature, well, we're going to be having the opportunity to with the new Lindy's Pick'em video that I'm going to be putting out Monday through Friday. So lots of new information for you. Hey, NBA gone. I got some more time to be able to help out the people, and that is exactly what I'm going to do. Sign up for Prize Picks, for Underdog, for all those great things in the video description box below. Phew! All right. Long intro, but it was worth it. Hopefully you enjoy those Lindy's Locks updates. Just give it a little like button. Smash the heart little button that's sitting there on Twitter. All right, I'm just talking in circles. It's time to get to the 10 games we got before us. We got producer Jacob back in the saddle, fresh off of, well, he's just a Disney guy. He's just living the life. Living the life because he's got to know. Yeah, I'm done singing. 10 games, let's roll the tape. Our day begins in Washington. St. Louis and Washington, fresh off of them shipping out Bradley Beal to the Suns. That was nice of them. The Western Conference in the NBA is going to be a disaster. Again, that has nothing to do with the Washington Nationals, but Washington sports in general, they are in shambles. Good luck, Commanders. Have fun this season. But anyway, the Cardinals, Nationals, this is an interesting spot. I hope Washington comes to play in this one, though, because Jack Flaherty on the mound going up against Josiah Gray, and Josiah Gray's one of those pitchers that, for whatever reason, I just constantly seem to be backing in these spots. He has a 4.34 expected ERA, so it's not great by any means, but the results have been there with a 3.19 ERA. He continues to walk guys. The K rate continues to be down, but one of the things he's been avoiding more so this season has been the barrels. He's down 4% in terms of barrel percentage from his 2021 numbers to the 2023 numbers. I think that that's good enough, and that's probably why you're seeing that ERA better than the expected ERA, because when the ball does get put in play, he's still going to be giving up some of that hard contact that we know he is prone to. The launch angle starting to come down a little bit for him too, but it was already so spiked high. 19.7 degree average launch angle in 2022, down to 12.9 degrees this season. So the ball's staying in the yard a little bit more. It is a scary spot going up against St. Louis with their 106 WRC+. They get Jordan Walker up there, no Tyler O'Neill. Wild outfield outcomes here in some of the St. Louis spots. That lineup in general, just something that I have been backing more, but this is just kind of a push-pull situation because Josiah Gray does have the walks. But so does Jack Flaherty in an even more pronounced way. A 13.1% walk rate, a 370 expected slugging is actually good, 22.8% K rate, but he has been getting so lucky with this strand rate. Now, he's got a 4.64 ERA, which is right around his 4.61 expected ERA, but that is not what you're looking for from Jack Flaherty. So name recognition, probably more the thing that's got this number where it currently sits. I think it's pretty easy to write in +1.5 on Washington. We did pull the trigger on it twice here over the course of the last 2 weeks. I think it's going to be back on the card. It actually is on the card. Half unit for Washington, +1.5. I get it. It's a little bit freaky because they're not a very good offense with an 85 WRC plus against righties on the season, 122 ISO, but there's speed. There's enough there at the top of the lineup that I think we can still comfortably put them on the card. Game number 2, Kansas City at Detroit, and woof. What do you want to do about this? You couldn't pay me to go to this baseball game. Okay, maybe you could, but either way, it would be one of those uncomfortable type things where it's like, oh, I'm watching Jordan Lyles pitch against Reese Olson. And Jordan Lyles is just terrible. 17.3% K rate, 347 xWOBA. You look at this 4-seamer and then a bunch of just garbage pitches surrounding it. Has the 11.1% barrel percentage. That's not good. That's it's really bad. I don't really have a whole heck of a lot to add. But shout out to the guy that's surely going to tell me, well, Jordan Lyles is still better at pitching than you. No shit. Anyway, Reese Olson on the other side, 368 expected slugging so far. Pretty limited sample that we have on him here. He's 23. Overall, really unlucky stuff. 6.08 ERA, but a 3.69 expected ERA through these first couple big league starts. He's got, 3 total appearances on the season, a 1.05 whip. Really unlucky stuff that he's been running into. However, I don't know if that's necessarily going to be the major consensus, because you go to his Toledo Mud Hens AAA numbers. Love that name. A 1.75 whip this season in his 10 starts there. So we're expecting some major negative regression in terms of that whip. He had a 6.38 ERA and still got the call up here. So I get the expected ERA is down there. I'm expecting him to move backwards in a pretty prominent way. Still, I want to see if this number can drop to 8.5 in any way, shape, or form, because right now it's at 9.2. I would still be leaning on the over of this. I have no play from either one of these teams. Neither of these pitchers can be trusted. I'd probably actually lean the Kansas City side and take the value there at +125 with them. Think that you're getting a little bit of overvaluation. That's a made-up word. We've got Reese Olson just getting a little bit too much love here from the books. However, I don't think either of these currently at these numbers are things you need to be going out of your way to placing bets of. So if you're going to this game, I'm sorry. It's terrible. Over 9, just going to be a lean for me here in this one. Probably no play from it. We head to Toronto and Miami, and, well, Jose Berrios, our old friend on the mound here for the Blue Jays, going up against Brian Hoeing here. And we have not been attacking Berrios nearly as much this season. And not just because there are numbers that had improvement or that he had good not AAA stuff, spring training stuff. Him and Kikuchi both did. But it's mainly that we just kind of knew this slurve pitch that he's thrown into the repertoire over the last couple of years. It seems to be getting swings and misses. And it's got a 31% usage here, 33.3% whip percentage. Now, it isn't exactly located all that well, but the spin is up 80 RPMs on it. And as soon as I saw that after his first start, we've been very selective at times on when to go after Berrios. I still don't find him to be the best pitcher in all the land, but much improved over the course of this season. That's echoed by a 4.46 expected ERA. That's not good by any means. 5.11 expected ERA last season, but the 3.28 ERA, I do expect negative regression for it, but on the road here, it's kind of priced in. Miami's been playing good baseball. Not really a spot for me to go out of my way to attack it. Pretty efficient line here, -140. Only getting +120 on the Miami side on the comeback, so stay away in pretty much every single right there at the moment. But I'm still going to be leaning the Toronto side if you had to take anything from this game, because I look at the total. Going to Marlins Park, the precipitous ballpark that it is. Precipitous. Again, I'm just making up words and terms. What am I even doing? What's the point? What am I doing? 8.5 though being the over under here. The under of 8.5 being pretty heavily juiced there at -120 at open. I think that's extremely, extremely efficient considering these offenses, considering Brian Hoeing is on the other side of this one. Not all that good. Makes a better, well, we're not going to make that joke. His last name's Hoeing. I don't know what to tell you. This is a weird day. 41.8% hard hit percentage, 256 expected batting average, sub 20% K rate, and a 9% walk rate over the course of the season. But he avoids barrel percentages. No, he avoids barrels with the barrel percentage of 6.3%. I'm going to improve as we get going. Game 3, yeah, we're getting the cobwebs off after a nice weekend off, but we're getting back into it here. Still going to be a lean on the Toronto side. Again, don't think there's any play whatsoever from this one, but hit me up on Twitter at Eric Lindquist if you have any questions about this one, or if somehow, some way Toronto can drop inside of -130, or Miami can go outside of +130, I would be all right. But in this window, think we just stay away from this game entirely. To Wrigley Field we go. We're kicking off the 7 p.m. window, 7 p.m. Eastern time, 4 p.m. Pacific window of games here. Going to Pittsburgh. We're not going to Wrigley Field. I lied. That was a lie. We're going to Pittsburgh. I'm going to just lock this in right now. It's time to go. And there is a definite play from this one for me. Looking at the pitching profile of Drew Smyly for the Cubs, Osvaldo Bido for the Pittsburgh Pirates here, and wowzer to some of his stuff. But we'll get to Drew Smyly first. Love what we've seen from him this entire season. That sinker, pronounced hard hit percentage of 32.2%. He is an extreme fly ball pitcher, so come summer months or when the wind's blowing at Wrigley Field, that soft contact can leave ballparks. But here in Pittsburgh, I think he profiles pretty decently. 22.9% put away percentage on that curveball, 32.3% whiff percentage being the primary pitch. And then again, that sinker, I mean, he's a 2-pitch kind of cat. And those generally are the kind of guys that, well, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Don't do it. He's just going to get you that fly ball rate, but it's whatever. 3.59 ERA, 1.20 whip. Everything about Drew Smyly across the board has been worthy of backing of late, although they have dropped 3 of their last 4 in which Drew Smyly appeared. That was an interesting thing, but last time out against Pittsburgh was kind of difficult for him. He's seeing them the second time for a second consecutive start here. He got completely lit up, and yet Chicago found ways to put up runs, but I think he's going to find himself in a more successful, favorable position here in this one. And why? Well, this ballpark not going to play like Wrigley did that day. That's for sure. Yeah, we're looking at a pretty decent spot here. And then on the Pittsburgh side, I do want to be backing this pitcher as well, so you can tell I'm probably going to the under here. But Osvaldo Bido, I know he's been giving up hard hit at 70%, but he has a 31.6% K rate now early on here, and, well, I think he's just one of those young arms you want to be early to the party on, because you go through some of the AAA stuff with the Indianapolis Indians, good stuff, 1.30 whip, 4.55 ERA, but the strikeouts were just there, 56 of them in 55 and a third innings. So I think he's going to find himself in a favorable position in a strikeout matchup that should project out pretty well. 23.7% K rate do the Chicago Cubs have on the season against right-handed pitching, just a 95 WRC plus and a 137 ISO. So please don't walk a ton of batters here, but this is an inflated number up to 9. I like the under of it. I think Smyly can find success left on left going up against some of these Pittsburgh Pirates. Well, it's going to neutralize some of them. You do have to still get by the likes of Mr. Connor Joe, who's been hitting the ball well. Brian Reynolds is good against everybody, switch hitter. And, of course, Andrew McCutchen going to be in that lineup as well, who's notoriously good against these lefties. But I think it's a good spot. First spot to really be invested in a confident way. Ken Washington plus 1.5. Tell me how you feel about that. I actually feel okay about it. Under 9, I like it here in Pitt. I have 2 parlays. Yeah, you heard me. This is not a normal day for me. 2 parlays on the card because they just project out this well. We've got Austin Gomber and the Colorado Rockies fresh off of getting knocked around there in Atlanta. Put up some runs themselves, but gave up infinity runs. And going through some of these bullpen numbers, I think they're pretty taxed out. Turning over, playing on Monday, and they're going to be playing in the most favorable park for power in all of baseball. Great American Small Park, as it's known in my streets. Either way, they've got Austin Gomber on the mound, who's completely terrible, and then Mr. Williamson. Like seeing both of these cats on the mound. I think runs are in store in this one. Now, Williamson not officially announced on some sites, which is why the lines were slow to come out, but they've started to flood in here a little bit. BetMGM, DraftKings Sportsbook, only two that I have on tap here for this one. But as I was plugging in the numbers, I am looking at targeting this bullpen along with Gomber on the Colorado side. 567 expected slugging, 403 xWOBA with just a sub 15% K rate. And Cincinnati fresh off sweeping. Yeah, you heard me. Sweeping the Houston Astros. We were on them every single step of the way in the premium Discord. Again, the tides have turned, my friends. It's almost like being able to focus primarily on one sport in baseball here is going to go well for us going forward. So jump into that premium Discord. Easiest way, of course, checking out BetMGM. I'll talk about that in 1 second. But on the other side of this one, Brandon Williamson, 404 xWOBA for him too. He's terrible. A 568 expected slugging, but I look at their bullpen coming off of what they just did against Houston, feeling pretty confident, as well as Ellie De La Cruz, Spencer Steer. Jonathan India's status is up in the air. He ended up leaving that game in extras. Not exactly sure what happened there, because again, doing Father's Day stuff here a little bit, but definitely want you on the over of this game of 9.5 in conjunction with Cincinnati at these current numbers. Basically, I just expect a ton of runs. So if you want to individually be playing the over of 9.5, have at it, but I'm feeling a certain kind of way about this Cincinnati Reds team. Good bullpen, great lineup at the top, especially if they could get any production out of the catcher position from their guy, Tyler Stevenson, who once upon a time had some talent. He's just hitting into ground double play crap all the time now. Feels like I've been watching a lot of Reds baseball, because I have. There are a cash cow now here. It is going to be fun. Cincinnati plus the over of 9.5. I like it. I also like BetMGM, and why wouldn't I? Because you get a bunch of great offers here for all of you people who are going to be signing up for the very first time. If you have your DraftKings Sportsbook, your FanDuel Sportsbook, add more sportsbooks. Those are just two that exist on the market, and I know a lot of people want to play at their one spot. You want to get your features and your offers and everything from that one spot, but this is a pretty unbelievable offer to go check out BetMGM. So sign up in the video description box below. It should automatically put promo code OS Insider in when you click on it. But if it doesn't, use promo code OS Insider and get yourself 2 months of my premium betting card every single, well, just for the 2 months. Yes, 2 months of the premium betting card, my betting card, Sunday through Friday here in the MLB streets. You want to be checking it out. We also have Ben Raza in there, Eitan Shander, the Parlay King himself. So many great analysts, so little time for you to be jumping in. Get in now before the dog days of summer are really here, before some of these lines get really efficient starting in July, coming off of the All-Star break. However, you will get that wave of AAA players that comes in, and that is probably my favorite time of year to be able to take advantage of knowledge and be able to take advantage of inefficiencies in the marketplace on certain pitchers. So jump into that, but that's not it, my friends. That's not it. You also get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if your first bet loses. So if you deposit and put $50 in and you bet $50 on your first bet and it loses, you're going to get $50 back in bonus bets from BetMGM. Anything you want up to $1,000 on that first bet will come back to you in bonus bets if it loses. So pretty great opportunity, only if you're 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. But jump into BetMGM right now. Check out what they are offering. We are here on the Odd Shopper channel. You should be shopping for the best lines every single day. That should be part of your process here. That's what we preach. I want you guys taking advantage of BetMGM here. So good stuff by them. And that's really all I have. Let's get ourselves back to the picks, shall we? We got the Red Sox and Twins. Going to be good stuff here. James Paxton on the mound, who's wowzer with this K rate, going up against Pablo Lopez, our absolute stud, our alpha, our everything here for the Twins. Joe Ryan, he's been no slouch himself either. Again, I'm so surprised, happily surprised by our rotation. If we could add anything with the bats here of late, that would be cool, but I think this one is just all pitching. James Paxton, 33.1% K rate on the season, 211 expected batting average, and you look at this Twins lineup, there are not a lot of righties. Apparently, Donovan Solano's good now. 304 expected batting average, 368 xWOBA, 440 expected slugging. Where the hell did that come from? But other than him and Byron Buxton, who is having a down year in terms of StatCast data, I don't really like a lot of the righties. Carlos Correa hasn't been his self. We have Julian character out there, 367 expected slugging. Another righty. We've been forcing Willie Castro and dusting off Michael A. Taylor in a lot of these spots, who does have a 436 expected slugging for what it's worth, and almost all of that in the platoon against lefties. So cool. Problem is, I definitely favor James Paxton to find success, but Pablo Lopez, I think we're looking at a decent spot here. They're facing the Yankees right now. Yoshida did get the day off, so I think that actually profiles nicely to ship him back over there to Minnesota to Target Field here and be ready to rock. But Pablo Lopez has been good against lefties and righties alike this season. A 281 xWOBA, 29.2% K rate, sub 7% walk rate, and just keeps finding ways to be productive here. He does have that 4.27 ERA, but a 1.12 whip, and he's been getting kind of unlucky. The ground ball rate continues to trail up with two sessions of 10-plus ground balls in his last 3 games. That's the mark of a champion, my friends. I love the ground ball rate. I love everything we got here. Got to get by some really dangerous lefties and Devers. If Duran's in that lineup for sure. Verdugo. I mean, Adam Duvall has been smashing the cover off of baseballs, although we'll see kind of what his profile is here for this one. Going to be very interesting. Very interesting indeed. But yeah, I'm going to be just leaning the under here. I am excited about these pitchers. There's no doubt about it, but I think I'm more excited to back them in the K department against one another. Really want to pay close attention to how this Red Sox lineup comes out. That's for sure, because Yoshida, just a 10.5% K rate. That's elite stuff. Verdugo, 12.6%. And then Justin Turner, who's been hitting the ball from both, or been in the lineup against both-handedness here of late. He had been a little bit of a platoon guy, which is a little surprising to me at times this season, but they moved him over to first at times. He's got a 14.5% K rate. That lineup, lots of ways that it ends up K heavy with Tristan Casas, Jarren Duran. There's lots of ways that it doesn't if they go Turner and some of the other guys in the outfield besides Duran. So I'm going to be looking at that. In the meantime, under 8. I have this at 7.7 runs. Not good enough here, but I'm thinking about it. Under. Maybe this moves to 8.5. That would be epic. I'm a little scared because I'm going to preface this with the fact that this is the largest discrepancy that I have had between myself and the books all season long on a single individual play. It's terrifying for a couple of reasons. Well, first of all, it's the Houston Astros that we're going to be targeting, and it's a Max Scherzer version that I'm not sure exactly what the hell's going on, but I'm willing to find out at these numbers. I can't see the side of the screen, but these numbers are insane to me. We have the New York Mets and the Houston Astros here in this spot. I don't even know how this comes out as Max Scherzer is a dog. I don't quite get it. Now, Houston, we targeted all weekend long with Cincinnati. I had some pretty large discrepancies between data and the marketplace, and then a market-based approach. We just found the best lines. It was always north of, well, it started at plus 165, then it was plus 130, and for the next game, so on and so forth. This Houston team is targetable. There's no doubt about it. Yordan Alvarez on the IL. Michael Brantley still not there. Look at some of these bats that they are rolling out every single day. And Yonder Diaz has been awesome for them. A 580 expected slugging so far. Not going to go picking on him here in the conversation, but I know we've seen sometimes where the likes of Jose Abreu, Mauricio Dubois, they've had some success, but look at these StatCast numbers. If you can get by Kyle Tucker in this lineup, Alex Bregman has had a down year in the StatCast data. 36.8% hard hit percentage, 406 expected slugging. Jake Myers, 227 expected batting average, is horrible out there in the outfield. Jeremy Pena, just a 34% hard hit percentage. Guess those muscles in spring training didn't convert into hard hit. And Jose Abreu, 284 xWOBA, 344 expected slugging. With no Yordan Alvarez in this lineup, they need a Band-Aid. A Band-Aid's not going to do it. They need like 2 or 3 pieces, because Chas McCormick sure ain't it with a 30.2% hard hit percentage either. So Kyle Tucker, I'm in love with the guy. I constantly have been. That is the guy Max Scherzer needs to get by. But Max Scherzer, positive regression is on the horizon, my friends. So 299 xWOBA, 299 xWOBA is pretty darn decent there. A 3.62 expected ERA. Put that next to his 4.45 actual ERA. I don't know why I said ERA. I don't know. Kind of an interesting way of speaking. But either way, I am looking at everything with Max Scherzer with this fastball command. I'm looking at velocity. It's down 0.5 mile per hour, but I'm not exactly going to be hitting eject on him anytime soon. The spin rate is actually up on that fastball, and it's sitting about the same. Well, it's actually up 47 RPMs now in terms of the slider as well. There's a lot of positives to look at Max Scherzer, and don't get me wrong. I've been just salivating over Hunter Brown and his abilities for quite some time. Nice to see him in the show, and he's showing out with a 27.1% K rate at 355 expected slugging. But he's a right-handed pitcher facing a Mets team that still has a 102 WRC plus with some injuries and a 20.5% K rate. That's 26th in baseball. We're talking low, so very, very good for them in that right. 5th best in baseball, if you will. That's a better way of putting it. So it's an above-average lineup. It's a pitcher in Max Scherzer, who I expect positive regression for. Hunter Brown is being priced in as the favorite here at minus 130. I would get close to flip-flopping these lines. Yeah, you heard me. This is an asinine, ridiculous, stupid line. It just is. I don't quite understand what the books are at here, and I would be shocked if we didn't get closer to plus 100 by the time we get to lock tomorrow. So I'm expecting heavy line movement if people like me are going to be firing this at plus 115 on DraftKings Sportsbook right now. It's partially the price, but it is a very, very important thing that you get this at plus money. I don't really want to see any tickets at minus 105, minus 110, even though I would find that to be positive expected value still. Find this DraftKings Sportsbook number and fire it to the moon. I'm going to have over a standard unit on this one for sure. Exactly how much? Not positive of yet. But I don't think this Houston team, without Yordan Alvarez in the lineup, is going to be very good. And if you want to know why, I'm going to show you my research on Lindy's locks update. That will be on twitter.com at Eric Lindquist. Hit me up there tomorrow. You want the explanation. You want all the data behind it. I am going to provide that for you over there. But in the meantime, bet. My favorite play of the entire year. Again, I was scared to say that, but it's true. The New York Mets money line, lock it up. God, I had so much to say about that last game, and I have so little to talk about here because, well, we kind of need some information, don't we? Yeah, we need some information. How about a line? I need a line. That's top of the line. No, that didn't work. I'm just stalling because I really don't have anything to add here. We have Andrew Heaney. We know what we're getting with that. K rate way down from last year when he was with the Dodgers here at Texas. 24.4%, still above average. 36.1% hard hit percentage is decent. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to be doing here in this spot, but I have no clue who the White Sox are going to start in this spot. My dog just sat down. He's pissed. Texas money line lean. They have some bats. I don't know if you noticed. What, a 116 WRC plus against righties on the season? 128 WRC plus against lefties. Doesn't matter who you are, they're going to hit you very, very hard with the baseball. I just found Jesse Schultens could be the guy out here. The bullpen arm at the moment. I don't know. Texas money line, just a lean. Goodbye. And hello again to a parlay in this one. Arizona and Milwaukee, far more to talk about in this game. Again, I'll give you an update in the premium Discord or on Twitter if you ask me nicely. Just ask me nicely about Texas and Chicago there. But we are now looking at a spot that I'm very, very confident in. Arizona, Merrill Kelly. Merrill. I really like him. 26.9% K rate. The 10.3% walk rate can get you in trouble from time to time, but really good strikeout matchup going up against some of these lefties in Joey Weimer, who's going to definitely be in that lineup. Rowdy Tellez, Christian Yelich, even though he's had better numbers, 22.8% K rate. It's not crazy off the chain here right now, but Luis Urias, 25% K rate. Willie Adames, 26.4% K rate. I really like Merrill Kelly neutralizing some of those righties. And it's Corbin Burns on the other side, though. 34.1% hard hit percentage, 288 xWOBA, 353 expected slugging. Lots of ways where this Arizona team is going to be in trouble. But look at the discrepancy in terms of these lineup profiles. You've got Arizona. They've been one of the best stories in baseball this season. A 109 WRC plus against righties with just a 19.3% K rate against right-handed pitching. That is tied for second best in baseball. They're just behind the Washington Nationals. Riddle me that, Batman. Wouldn't have been my first guess. Actually, it would have, because I look at these numbers every single day. But looking at Milwaukee on the other side of this one, not great, Bob. Not great. 90 WRC plus, 152 ISO, just a 310 OBP, 233 batting average against. Those are not the kind of numbers against righty pitching that you should be confident in. So I'm pretty sure both pitchers find some sort of success. But just give me the better lineup at these kind of numbers every single time. Arizona plus money, I'm attaching that to the under for sure. Think you could get a nice return on this one. Currently, best available line plus 105 at both BetMGM, our sponsor, and DraftKings Sportsbook. So pick your poison, my friends. However, Arizona and Milwaukee, don't expect any runs here in this one. And the last game of the night here, we're heading to San Francisco. San Diego Padres putting Michael Waka Waka out on the mound, going up against Andrew Desclafini is Feeney. Mr. Feeney. Boy Meets World. Good stuff. But Anthony Desclafani, he just got lit up against St. Louis last time out, 5 earned. Still found himself out of that one pretty quickly. Quick, just 78 pitches. Not an injury issue either, so grand slam to Tommy Edman, never a great thing. Never a great thing. But Michael Waka, how about some hot and cold, yes, no, up, down, Katy Perry song stuff? 2.89 ERA, great. 1.06 whip, great. But I'm still not positive this 33.5% hard hit percentage he's had so far this season is going to be something that shines through. Now, he did have a 35.4% hard hit percentage last year, but a 4.56 expected ERA, and partially because you're still going to get some power on both sides of this one from time to time. And that's where Jock Peterson comes in. This ballpark, friends, in San Francisco, it can be a cavern, that's for sure. It has not really affected Jock Peterson all that much when he's been healthy here and in this lineup. I was looking at Michael Conforto. I thought about adding his total bases. Pay attention to that. But with Mitch Haniger out there for a long time, that takes one piece of platoon possibly off the table, which is always the freaky thing. You play Jock Peterson, he gets pulled when they go left on left here. San Diego brings in a lefty in Mr. Hader coming in as their closer. Lots of opportunities for Jock Peterson to get pitch hit for. But that's going to be priced in. And as long as I'm getting better than plus 350 here, the guy still is putting bat on ball. 7 homers now on the season in just 114 at-bats. That is a nice return on value here. So, friends, Jock Peterson, welcome back to the party. Good to see him there in the lineup. Good to see him healthy. I am leaning that direction as my favorite play in this one. But as always, hit me up on Twitter at Eric Lindquist, because we don't know what that number is here yet, but I'm pretty sure that ends up making the card my favorite home run play based on what I expect the line to be tomorrow. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Head to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite play on Monday. Let's get this week started off right. Last week was awesome. This weekend was awesomer. Sunday was a smash. Thank you, Jake Fraley. Thank you, the Cincinnati Reds. Thank you, Los Angeles Angels. Thank you for everybody just apparently winning baseball games. I can hit on this stuff again. Who knew? Who knew? Very excited for another week of baseball. Check out BetMGM, but most importantly, friends, check out Lindy's Locks Update. You want to know if my lock from today or some of the other plays, I'm probably going to talk through most everything on some of these shorter slates where I can be a little bit more specific. If it's a play on this card today, I'm probably going to talk you through that process. I'm going to put that video out usually early morning, afternoons, every single Monday through Friday. So be sure to tune into that. Give that a little like button. Goes a long way for me. But I'm going to be back also tomorrow because, well, it's another week of work, my friends. Thank you to producer Jacob. Good times as always. I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB streets on Monday.